Hello and welcome to the 58th episode of Tuesdays at 2. 58, wow. So I'm wanting to really share my knowledge. I love sharing my knowledge in career management every week to you guys, the viewers, and the people who will watch the repeat. Today's today's topic is an extension of what we discussed last week. It's 6 more ways to sabotage your job search. But who am I? My name is Martin Buckland, and I call myself an executive career management practitioner. So I manage and advance the careers of senior executives across the world. I work everywhere in the world. And I'm also a global expert in managing and advancing the careers of executive MBAs, so EMBAs, and a global expert in mining, because the backbone of our economy where I am right now, here in Canada, is mining. So it's 2 p.m. where I am, Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. British Time, and 8 p.m. Central European Time. And welcome wherever you are in the world. I'm wanting you to ask some questions. So I'm going to put the comment bar on. So please feel free to ask any questions at all. No question is stupid. You all want to manage your career. You all want to get that dream job. And every week, every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, I share my wealth of knowledge to you, the viewer, and the repeat. So I'm looking forward to talking about the 6 more ways to sabotage your job search. But please feel free to ask any questions at all. It doesn't have to be related to today's topic. Any question is fine on career management, personal branding, resumes, CVs, executive recruiters. The list goes on and on and on. Please join me and ask some very thought-provoking questions, and I will share that question in front of the audience. So let's talk about the 6 more ways to sabotage your job search. We'll continue from last week, so we'll number them up. So number 7 is only applying for job postings. Now, this astounds many, many people. Depending on where you are, which country you are in the world, the percentile varies of number of jobs that are advertised. And it's really low. People think all those job boards, LinkedIn, Indeed, Aluta, Career Builder, the list goes on and on and on, will bring about close to 80, or even some people are so ignorant they think it's 100%. Wrong. It's not 100%. Only here in Canada, which is the lowest percentile of any country in the world, only 8 or 9, it's hard to measure, 8 or 9% of jobs are advertised. And I see so many people who spend a voluminous amount of time applying online. But you're in a heavy competition as well. You need to find other avenues to go on your job search. So don't think that job boards are going to bring you gold. Very rarely they do. You need to go and use the other mediums. So applying for job postings just online is not good. You need to get out with networking. Who are the companies you want to go and work for? Why do you want to go and work for those particular companies? And then target the person. It's all about target marketing, because every one of you watching today is a product, and the resume and the CV and your LinkedIn profile is your packaging. You have to make it look good. So only applying for jobs online, job postings online, is a fallacy. You're not going to get as much traction. You need to get out and network. Here in Canada, 80%. In the US, it's about 74, 75%, or just a little bit less than that maybe. In the UK, it's about 65%. Europe, it fluctuates between 60 and 65%. And other countries are very similar figures. So the bulk of the jobs aren't even advertised. There are people waiting, executive recruiters and other people waiting for your resume, your CV to land in their desk and for them to make a decision. Avoid HR. HR only have a function if it's to do with a job posting. As I say, they're very slim. So use executive recruiters, network, and use the job postings, but don't spend all your time, your job search time, just on postings. To me, as a job search expert, that is a complete waste of your time and a lot of other people's time. So number 7, only applying for job postings. Number 8, failure to customize your resume or your CV, depending on where you are in the world, for each job. You need to customize. Have a generic resume or a CV, and then customize that top third of a page. That is above the fold, what I call above the fold. That's what I call, it's my term, the projective. So many years ago, we used to call it the profile and the objective. We haven't written that word in well over a decade, or those two words in over a decade. So you need to customize that top third of a page to that particular job if you are applying online or that particular company. So I'm going to ask Brian, I'm going to answer your question in a couple of minutes. So let's keep going here. So that's failure to customize your resume. So spend a lot of time reading the small print of that job notice and then customize it to that. The closer you customize it to that job notice, the better it will be for you. You want the maximum impact, you want the maximum rewards, and you want that phone to ring, to call you for an interview. Because a resume doesn't get you, or CV doesn't get you a job, it gets you the interview. So number 8, failure to customize your resume or your CV for each job. Number 9, not asking questions in an interview. This is a serious thing. An interview, you're getting to the closing, hopefully, of your job search. Hopefully, you're getting into multiple interviews. And you don't ask questions in the interview. You keep your mouth shut. You just answer their questions. You don't answer any, or you don't ask any questions. An interview is a two-way street. It's a conversation between either two people or a panel of people and you, the candidate. Do your homework. Make sure you are really polished, very refined, very confident in knowing everything about this company. Research, research, research. The more you know, the better it's going to be for you. And ask probing questions. Where do you think I'm going to be in 2 years? Where would you think I'm going to be in 5 years? Talk about the corporate culture. I've heard through my grapevine that you have this or you have that. You need to ask probing questions. So ask lots of questions. It's a two-way conversation, a two-way chat between people to just basically to see if there is a fit. So let me look at Brian's question here. What is the best way to seek out an unadvertised job? That's a great question, Brian. I know you've been on a job search for a little while. You need to come up together with maybe the top 30, the top 35 companies or entities you want to go and work for. And then you need to use LinkedIn and other platforms to find the person who would be your boss or your boss's boss and attempt to network with them, to get their attention, to deliver an impact, and then to get an informational interview, which hopefully will lead to an interview. So it takes time. Patience is a virtue. It takes a long time to build that brand and then uncover those opportunities. So I would suggest, if you were my client, I get my clients when I'm coaching to give me 35 companies, potential employers they want to go and work for. But they have to provide me with a reason, at least one paragraph on why they want to go and work for that company. Don't just pick anything out the sky. You need to be targeted. Target marketing works. And then, of course, when they provide me with the list of companies they want to go and work for, I have an extensive, a massive global network. You never know. I might have somebody in my network, and it's worked out many, many times that I'm able to introduce my client to one of my ex-clients or one of my network, and it works out from there. So that's it. Target marketing. You must have, Brian, probably, I'm going to say 30 companies, 30 entities, 30 associations, government associations or whatever, quasi-government, that you want to go and work for in your capacity with your skills. So target market. Find the person who's going to be your boss or your boss's boss and see if you can get an introduction and dialogue between the two of you. So number 10, forgetting to send a thank you note. Now, send a thank you note. What do I mean by send? Do I mean send it via the internet? Or how about this? Revealing, revolutionary. How about sending it via snail mail? When was the last time you had a thank you note to thank you for something, some gesture or something that you did to help another person? So thank you notes, handwritten, yes, handwritten, can bring you huge value. Do it. I can tell you that my clients who've embraced this approach, it puts them at the forefront of the job search. So what I would suggest you do is, when you leave the interview, whether it be virtual communications or whether it be an in-person interview, and they are starting to come back, I would say, when are you interviewing the last person? So I would say, make sure that you deliver that envelope, that thank you note is being delivered when they are interviewing that last person. Try and schedule it. Now, if you really want to go to town, I would suggest not only snail mail, but you wrap it in a FedEx, a UPS, Purelator, or other courier envelope. What message does that send to the person at the other end? Wow, this guy has spent a lot of time, not just writing the thank you note, but sending it, and some money. They don't come cheap, but that sets you apart. Who opens FedEx, Purelator, UPS envelopes before others? We all do, because they are important. You are important, and that job is important to you. So I would suggest that you use a courier to snail mail your thank you note. And there are some amazing thank you notes you can get, you can buy today from Amazon and other vendors. So we got another question. Let me just bring it up here. From Mia. Hi. Please explain the tips and how to prepare a resume for internal staff within an organization. Now, Mia, that's a really long, I could be here for hours on talking about that. So why don't I schedule a time with you to have a one-on-one, either Zoom call or a telephone call, and I can answer that question in more detail, because that would take me on this webcast another 20 or 30 minutes. So I'm going to put my email in here, and why don't you email me, and we can have another conversation at another time, and then I can answer that question, because it's really long, and I want to move on with the podcast. So at Martin at aneliteresume.com. Hopefully that'll help you. We can have another conversation. Mia, I'm more than happy to have that. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. I'll pick up the phone and just give you a call. So number 11, quantity over quality. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about the number of resumes sent out. Blasting resumes out to everybody you think is a foolish error. You need to deliver quality over quantity. I can tell you, as a job search expert, it's actually better to send 5 quality targeted resumes out than it is to send 100 unqualified targeted resumes. So be specific. Marketers, professional marketers will tell you they spend a voluminous amount of hours targeting. So do salespeople. It's targeting who they want to go to, who they want to hit. You need to hit the person that you will be your boss or an influencer. So only go to HR if it's as a result of an advert. As I mentioned earlier on, adverts are very, very slim of the overall 100% job search wheel that is out there today. So hopefully that helps you. Quality over quantity. Don't send 100 just out just like that. Yeah, you can do it. Press a button. But that's resume blasting. It doesn't do your brand any good either. You need to target. Get 1s, 2s, and 3s, maybe 4s or 5s, but don't go to 100. I speak to people, I've sent 100 resumes out this week. You can't have done the research into that company, let alone target. So don't do that. Quality over quantity. Number 12. Failing to cope with a termination. Now, we just coming out of the so-called COVID recession, where many people were terminated. Each recession, many people are terminated. Many millions, sadly, are terminated because you, as the resources, are the most expensive resources they have on their books, and they have to downsize. They have to reduce costs. So the people are the people that go are the costs that go first. And even in good times, now we're approaching good times, I'm seeing very, very robust hiring across the world in most functions, most industries, which is really good. And that's forecasted to be that way for a long time, subject to what's going to happen with COVID 4 or whatever you want to call it. So I would, if I was you, I would when you're terminated, it's a traumatic experience to be terminated. Yes, people don't like to be terminated, but it is a traumatic. It's very high on the stress. So I would suggest that you take time to digest it, to refresh, to think about, well, why me? Get rid of all that anger, that rage that automatically, it's human nature, goes through when a termination occurs. It's very, very high on the stress measurables rates. So take some time. Don't jump back right into a job search, because you will probably air that frustration, that anger, that rage to other people when you want to remain calm, you want to remain confident, you want to show poise, and you want to land a job. So failing to cope with termination, maybe go and see a counselor. Many people go and see a counselor, but make sure you also see an employment lawyer for your severance package if you haven't signed it. But that's another topic. So I'm going to give you a bonus today. One more bonus. We've done number 12, failing to cope with termination. The bonus, number 13, is time management. Now, I think we're all questionable on time management. We tend to procrastinate. We tend to put stuff that we should do on the back burner and not on the front burner. But you need to manage your time. There's only 24 hours in a day. But job search, let me tell you, it's not sitting back and vegging. Don't think a job will come to you. You have to go after it. You have to be proactive. Spend voluminous amount of time on job search. Now, this is my perfect job search time, having seen thousands and thousands of people over the last 26 years go through job search. It's like anything. The more effort you put into it, the more rewards will come your way. So if you're in career transition, i.e. unemployed, I will put 12 hours Monday to Friday on your job search. Don't let your family, your friends, acquaintances, and other things stop you from your job search. Treat it as a full-time gig. So time management, don't waste trawling on Facebook, trawling on other sites. You need to get your jobs, you need to get interviews as soon as possible. Excuse me. So get out there, be proactive. Don't sit on your butt or go in the closet. Get out there, be visible. The more visible you are on LinkedIn, share, make some comments, post your own content. The more visible you are, the better it's going to be for you. But time management, don't waste time. So if you were to do 12 hours a day, I would suggest you need to send 2 or 3 resumes out, maybe a day, but targeted. And you need to be active on social media while doing your research and while connecting with other people. Never, ever, ever stop networking. So that wraps it up. So today we've talked about 6 more ways to sabotage your job search. I offer a free, no obligation, no sales pitch resume critique. If anybody wants a resume critique, please send it to me below. Mention you are watching me Tuesdays at 2, and I'll be happy to pick up the phone. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. And I will go through your resume for 20-25 minutes for free, top to bottom. I say it as it is. And also go to my YouTube channel and please press the subscribe button, where there is a wealth of different YouTubes talking about career management. If there isn't a YouTube that isn't on there, YouTube video, please tell me and I will shoot one, because I'm about to go into the studio again and shoot another 20 or 30 videos. So I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions. But what I want to do now is I want to wrap everything up from the past 2 weeks. So last Tuesday, today, Tuesday, we talked about ways to sabotage your job search. 12 with 1 bonus, so 13. So what I want to do is I want to very quickly go from 1 to 13 ways to sabotage your job search. So this is my 13 ways to sabotage your job search. Number 1, failure to network, being off the radar. Number 2, sloppy, uncalculated approach to career management. Number 3, typo and grammar mistakes on resume, CV, or your LinkedIn profile. Number 4, late for the interview or a lack of preparation. Number 5, your negative attitude, criticizing bosses, criticizing peers. Number 6, outdated skills and education. Number 7, only applying for job postings. Number 8, failure to customize resume or CV for each job. Number 9, not asking questions in an interview. Number 10, Forgetting to send a thank you note. Snail mail. Number 11, quality over quantity. Quantity over quality. Quality is rules. Number 12, failing to cope with termination. And the bonus, number 13 today, is good time management. So hopefully that's wrapped it up for all of you. If you got any questions, I'll be here for a couple more minutes. Anybody got any other questions? Don't think any question is stupid. It's not. Please feel free to ask any questions on career management, not just job search. You need to manage your career. You need to manage your career when you're gainfully employed as well as when you're in career transition. Treat it very carefully with diligence, because it can bring good career management, can bring you a lot of rewards at the other end, both financial, being happy, and being able to retire a lot earlier. I can tell you that I see my clients who manage their careers, they retire earlier, they earn more money, they are happier. Not bad combination, eh? So anybody got any other questions? If not, we'll wrap it up. Next week, I'll be back here, Tuesdays at 2, and we're talking about the end of summer. The end of summer. Is that good or bad for my job search? So Tuesday, 31st of August, end of summer. Is that good or bad for my job search? So listen to me next Tuesday and come forward with some questions. Prepare some questions, because I'm more than happy to answer any questions. So thanks for listening today. And hopefully those on the repeat will gain benefit from those 13 I've just shared with you, those 13 job search approaches to sabotage your job search. Have a great week, and I will see you next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern.